Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
welcome.
thank you. I'm going to start with a quote by Pablo Neruda. He was a Chilean romantic poet, and his writing is quite exquisite. The wound is the place where the light enters. We seek the shelter of helping ourselves and rising above our mundane frailties, because in that we become instruments of healing and hope. Unconditional love comes through joy, not sacrifice. The allowance of sacrifice can clear the head so positive action can then take place. Sacrifice and sorrow can be vehicles for healing to take place. In other words, to let the light enter. Unless we have enlightened parents or exceptional karma, we spend a great part of our lives overcoming emotions that control us. There are four basic emotions: fear, sadness, anger, and happiness. The first three, unfortunately, can crowd out happiness in our lives. In small amounts, fear, sadness, and anger are acceptable. It's okay to fear jumping into the Grand Canyon. Sadness on the death of a loved one, yeah, it's okay. Anger is a tricky one. It is the escalation of being annoyed. Anger and fear and sadness can overcome our ability to let happiness in. They are not states we should dwell in. Happiness too can be counterproductive when combined with the thoughts of wishing ill on someone or something. We all know what it feels like to sort of think, oh, gee, it would really be nice if that person tripped when they were holding that glass of water. That could give us happiness. It shouldn't, but it could. All emotions are valid according to the situation that brings them to the surface. However, Edgar Cayce said, fear is a sin because it makes us forget we are spiritual beings. I think the reasoning there is when we have unabated fear, extreme fear that is not logical. The same, I believe, could be said about the other emotions. Excess is to overdo the good these emotions can bring us. In this society, we have learned to enjoy fear. Think slasher movies. And the fear becomes addicting. We have become a society of thrill seekers. Extreme sports cause an adrenaline rush, as do slasher films. Why is this addiction so prevalent? Adrenaline is a hormone that creates dopamine and increases blood flow to our muscles and oxygen to our lungs. It is a fight or flight response. One theory of why we are attracted to adrenaline is we give ourselves a safe way to work out the emotions we are having in real life. Also, having extreme emotion in a safe environment helps us to recognize there is more to life. And being afraid in a safe environment gives us the ability to seek what we really need. We want something more. St. Augustine's perspective is, we hold the idea that love is at the root of all we do. Perhaps we give ourselves the desire for the infinite or spirit in experiencing the dopamine rush. It would behoove us to recognize the need for safe danger in ourselves and mayhaps find another avenue for our spiritual discovery. Anger is also responsible for a fight or flight response, so it is with us to help keep us safe. Whether anger is good or bad depends on how we deal with it. It is related to a deep need for control. Do we feel in charge? Do we feel helpless? The function of anger is to inflict cost or withhold benefits from others to increase our sense of worth. We can use anger to benefit positivity by using it as a motivational force. Turn it into a positive energy. It can push us toward our goals and face problems and barriers. Showing anger can create the will to make solutions for the anger that's promoting the source. It can help us seek and keep on the path of a light heart, opening lines of communication if we don't hide our anger. Maya Angelou said, as soon as healing takes place, go out and heal somebody else. Once again, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Happiness, number 4 on the emotions list, is the one emotion that would be beneficial to spread. In the state of happiness, we are able to grasp how we can love. I just recently came across a person, Bishop T.D. Jakes, who blew me away and explained so many of the love injustices I felt I had endured by the hands of my family. Bishop Jakes spoke of being born with a 10-gallon capacity to love and be loved, but being born into a family or being surrounded by people whose capacity was just a pint, they can give you all they have, empty themselves for you, give all, but it can't fill your 10-gallon capacity. There's no blame or shame on either side once we understand. All you can give is all you can give, and all you can give is enough. Bishop Jakes gave me the understanding and the ability to lose the anger and heartbreak of feeling I wasn't getting enough. I may not have a 10-gallon capacity, but whatever capacity I am, I now know I can give it all without judgment of not receiving an equal amount back. Because in this case, size doesn't matter. If we give our all, it is enough, and we can rise above our human frailties and become instruments of healing and hope. Victor Hugo said, life is the flower for which love is the honey. I leave you with an anonymous prayer taken from a pagan book of prayers. Happily, my eyes regain their power. Happily for me, the spell is taken off. Imperious to pain, I walk. Feeling light within, I walk. Thus happily you accomplish your tasks. Happily the old will regard you. Happily the children will regard you. Happily, as they approach their homes, they will regard you. Happily may their trails home be in the way of peace. Happily may all return. With beauty before me I walk, with beauty above me I walk. With beauty it is finished. With beauty again it is finished. Thank you.